Hi again. So I'm smiling because I just had a thought. I didn't really want to talk about this today, but earlier on I went for a run with a friend of mine, and he's a 24-year-old boxer, and we just did a bit of jogging and then a few sprints, and I had this light bulb moment while we were running. I think it was as he sprinted past me for the 10th time, and I realised that, he's 24, and I realised that I'm not 24 anymore, and it just made me smile. It was good though. It's good. I'm still out there, still doing it. But what I wanted to talk about today, I've called this "In the Arms of an Angel" because earlier on today I was listening to a song on the radio, just flicking through, and it came on. And I'd heard it a few times before, and I think the song's called "In the Arms of an Angel," which I quite like. But it got me thinking about angels. And I know a lot of people don't believe this, but it's a belief that I've always had. Since I was a kid, my mum always talked about her having a guardian angel. And so I've always believed. I don't know how it works. I'm not into any specific religion. So I don't want this to really be about religion. I've had people try and explain it to me, their beliefs, how it works, which is fine. I'm open to all of it, but I don't know how it works. But I've always believed that I've had a guardian angel. Whoever it is, he, she, however it works, they've had to work really hard on my behalf at times. But that belief has really given me a lot of comfort as well over the years. Times when I've been struggling, I felt like I'm on my knees. That belief of having somebody there looking after me or looking over me has really helped me. Some physical situations that I got myself in years ago, even not just, outside, getting in the ring and doing the Valley Tudor stuff, that was really scary. But that thought of having somebody there and getting me through it helped. My therapy sessions, sometimes I end up with people and I think, what am I doing here? I can't help this person. But that belief that I've got somebody looking after me, and I'm in my head, I might even be saying a silent prayer or a desperate, look, help me out here, because this is out of my depth, but it's not going to be out of your depth. And that really helps me. That gives me comfort, and it always seems to work as well. And the angels bit, I remember years ago going to a friend of mine was really into spiritualist churches and going to a spiritualist church with him. And if I'm honest, I'm not proud of this. I was quite sceptical when I went there. And I went for probably a couple of months with him, maybe once a week on and off. And I've got to admit, I walked away from it thinking they were really nice people. I didn't know what to expect, but they were really nice people. And some of the things that I saw there, I just couldn't explain, So I'm open to it. Maybe another time I'll go into some of those things. But, on this whole plane, talking about angels and spirituality, some of the experiences that I've had in my life, I just can't explain. But they've been really powerful, and they've really helped me, and they've just confirmed my belief that, we're all guided, that there's different levels, there's things going on. One of the guys at the spiritualist church was telling me that he was approached by a Christian woman, and she said to him one day, "You're going to go to hell." And he said, "Why?" And she said, "Because, you practice all this spirituality, you talk to dead people, and, that's against Christianity. You're not supposed to do that. You're going to go to hell." And he said, she kept saying to him, "You're going to go to hell." And in the end, he went, "Can I just stop you there and thank you for what you're saying to me?" And she went, "What are you thanking me for? You're going to hell." And he went, "Yeah, but that's brilliant. At least I know when I die I'm going to go somewhere." And he said, "I'm happy with that." And I just thought, what a great attitude. He was just happy that something else was going to happen to him. It wasn't going to be the end. Even if it was hell, he was going to carry on, which I quite liked. But also as well, recently I've been working with kids, and it hit me going into schools and doing some stuff around mental health with kids. I remember a few years ago, this woman telling me going to see her, and it was a last minute thing. She didn't have a clue who I was. She was in a different city. Someone booked an appointment with her. She was like one of these medium spiritualist people. And she said, this other person couldn't make it. So they said to me, "Do you want the appointment?" So I took the appointment, and even driving there, I was thinking, what am I going here for? What's this all about? But on the way over, I'll try and keep this short, but on the drive over, which was about an hour drive, a few weeks before, a woman had said to me, worked at the local hospital, a really nice lady. She said to me, with my therapy work, she said, have you ever thought about working with families of people that have ever committed suicide? And I said, it's not something I'd ever thought about, but I'd be open to it. You know, I'm one of those people, if somebody says to me, do you want to do this, do you want to do that? I normally say yes without even thinking it through. And anyway, I never thought anything else about it. I'm driving over to see this woman, and the phone went in my car. I was driving down the motorway, so I didn't answer it. I've talked about this in my book as well, Fight to Rescue a Healer. And I got to this woman's house, and I looked at my phone, and there was a voice message on the phone. And it was this woman from the hospital saying to me that they had a family their child had committed suicide. I'm changing this a little bit, you know, but it's the stories, the true story, the real story. I'm just changing some of the people in it. They said their child's committed suicide, a 21-year-old. Would you go and see the family, the parents? And there was a couple of other people, brothers, sisters. And I got this message, and it really shook me up, because I thought to myself, what have you done now, Summers? You know, you've said you'd go and work with these families. This is way out of my depth. You know, I'd only ever worked with people one-to-one. And now I'd said that I was going to go and work with a family, you know, possibly 3 or 4 people that were going to be, I knew that were going to be so distressed. It was going to be incredible. So I was sort of panicking a little bit, but I thought, well, I'm outside this woman's house now. I'll go and see her, see what she's got to say. So anyway, when I went in to see this woman, one of the things she said to me, she didn't know anything about me. She only knew my first name. And she said to me, I've got somebody in front of me. Obviously, I couldn't see anything. And she says to me, I've got somebody in front of me. And she said, I'm seeing a train and a train track. And this is how this person had committed suicide. And she said, they're beckoning you forward. Does that mean anything? And I think she must have seen by the colour of my face that it actually meant something. And she said, does that mean anything to you? And then I explained to her that I'd been asked to work with this family, but I didn't know what to do. And she said, well, from what I'm seeing is you're being beckoned forward. And I did go on and I worked with the family, and it was really hard, really painful, emotional work, but it went really well. So that blew me away. But she also said something to me that day as well. She said to me, you're going to be working with kids, you know. And I said to her, there's no way that I didn't, it's nothing that, I love kids, but I just didn't want to work with them. I want to work with adults. And I said, in my work, all I want to do is work with adults. And even to this day, I get people contacting me all the time. And I always say, I don't work with anybody under 18. I have a couple of times, but it's very, very rare. But she said to me, you're going to be working with kids. And it just hit me today. For the last couple of weeks, I was adamant that I wouldn't. But for the last couple of weeks, I've been going into schools and doing mental health awareness with kids. And I hadn't even thought about it. I hadn't made the connection till today. So that little song this morning, In the Arms of an Angel, has triggered off a whole thought process for me. And that's been around for me today. But I'm really glad that I've got that belief. Because, and like I said, it's made me think of other things that have happened in my life that I can't explain, but that have been really powerful and have given me a lot of comfort. You know, one of the theories that I've heard about fear is that we've got 2 main fears. One is being abandoned, and the other one is being overwhelmed. And I think the abandonment one was one of mine at one time. I was scared of being abandoned and being rejected, but I think I've put that one to bed a long time ago. But the overwhelmed one does come up for me sometimes. Like I've said before, when I'm going to give talks, sometimes I've got 70 consultants, doctors in front of me, and sometimes it just, that feeling of being overwhelmed does come in. You know, am I going to be able to cope with this? Am I going to be able to do it? They're going to see that I don't know, I haven't got all the answers. They're going to find me out. These are highly intelligent academic people. They're going to pick me to pieces. It never happens, but that thought of being able to dip in and that I've got somebody looking after me really helps me at those times. Because, you know, if you believe you're guided, you can't be overwhelmed. It's impossible, you know. So I just wanted to put that out there because it's something that's helped me. I know some people don't believe in anything like this, and that's fine. I'm not trying to get people to believe in it. I'm just sharing my experiences and what helps me. And if it helps you, brilliant. If anybody else has got any experiences out there that they want to share, that'd be fantastic as well. So that's the message for today. Have a good day and hopefully speak to you soon. Take care.